Thank you very much, Desk. Yes, excited to get into the first match of today, the final weekend chance we all pack our bags and go to Texas. How time has already flown this year. Speaking of flying, though, the Ravens better get those wings a-flapping, son. It's going to be a tough series for them indeed. Seattle Surge, the form is on the way up. Search and destroy issues have been resolved, hopefully. We'll find out what happens, though, as we take a quick swim, starting the series off here on HyDra.
And you're starting off just looking at Nastie's stats, where he has been very impressive on this map. I know him and Paul X have made a bit of a role swap, so I don't know if he's going to be able to replicate that exactly, but he's been a strong point for the team. And I like the map analysis that Nameless is bringing, just those maps 2 and 3. They look deadly, like for London Royal Ravens, just because it's looking like on paper, Seattle Surge should just be able to take them to task. That being said, the other 3 maps, this one included, are actually pretty strong for London, so I think we're going to have a potential game 5 on our hands.
Well, Lando and Study aren't here, so it won't happen. Everybody's swimming, nearly. No one's in the hard point just yet. We're all playing for a little bit of map control. Mack's taking the water route to get mid. No time just yet. Awkward gunfights, and Mack, though, he's the man. Up top, finds both of those. Sib as well. Good work out of Seattle Surge. The opening break is theirs.
Yeah, well, it almost was a very strong opening break for Ravens. They got the first 2 entry kills, but weren't quite able to flip those spawns, and if not for a nade forcing Mack out of position, well, and that doesn't even do too much to him. I think Seattle in a pretty strong start early on. London looking for the bounce back, maybe to pick up some scrap time towards P1, but obviously on that rotation, mostly nice and secure. Actually, not at all. Asim literally just spawns behind all of them for absolutely no reason.
Wow, hey, the COD gods have smiled upon him today. No one from Seattle is going to see this coming. Everyone's guns are up.
There's no reason to.
Sim's like, yeah, 5. Everything's good. You'd never know. You'd never look back. But wait. Who's that? Number 7, Mack. It's more than Spidey senses tingling.
Dude, that is
great game awareness. It's good comms, and it's wonderful counting to 4. That's a big play out of Seattle.
Dude, it is that kind of paranoia that'll like get you checked into a therapy session, but it's that kind of paranoia that you need on this map. There was almost no reason for Asim to spawn out at all, but eventually Seattle counted to 4, and they're like, we haven't seen this guy in too long. Don't know how it happened, but he's behind us, so clean reads in the moment, and that has resulted in more than a 50-point lead, and with Pred shutting that player down in that moment, all of that scrap time should be going to Seattle, who basically had the perfect opening break.
Yeah, first 2 hard points have gone the way of Seattle Surge, no questions asked. Now they're towards 3rd. The Ravens have won their fights. Asim, the man of the moment, he's got himself on a 3 spree, looking for 1 more. And it's going to be Pred around this corner. If you've got map control right now for the Ravens, can they hold that line down and get themselves some important time?
They're going to have to start with something, right? But you have a couple Slayers leading the way, and it is the expected 2, Pred and Sib, showing up in the feed as they're making moves to try to approach this new hill. But good cutoff kills from Scrapz, trying to be a standout player for the team and maybe get the gun hot in this map. London with their first bit of success, and they'll see if they can let it ride. But obviously, not an easy hill to collect a lot of time on.
Not at all. I see him push that front line forward now. Sib's up next. Here in his little attack forward as the time starts to tick away. In the back line, though, number 8's crept in. That's right, Pred from the murky depths. Just seems to keep the front line safe for now. Of course, the back line, no, Pred's still alive and kicking. The pinch now on the point. Nastie, last man up for the Ravens here in this spot. Can he get himself closer? Matty Marshall, Scrapz now from the rear. Pressure is on. The Ravens, they are dealing with this quite well, but the time has not gone their way. Rotations down there once again. Asim far right inside of the minimap, this time by design.
Hey, this is still actually a beautiful opportunity. Nastie could get the cruise in this moment, and maybe you don't get a great deal of time on the hill, but you set yourself up for rotation as well. You force Seattle to have those back spawns in the final few moments, and maybe Nastie ends up spawning right behind players, but that could be a gifted flank, and as long as you read Sib and Asim, it looks like he's partially aware that someone could be behind enemy lines, but that's the key gunfight, or maybe the key cruise missile.
We'll see if the cruise has any effect. Trophy's still in this game. Devastating. It lands, but no
wrong
good.
Side of the wall.
Wrong side of the wall indeed. Pred's going to be the man up next. Through the smoke, the fire, and the flames. Gun Scrapz. That's hard point now in the hands of Seattle. Spawns all good. Ravens on the quick counter attack. I don't think anyone's going to be able to get close. And oh, Sib, guns ready. Mack's there as well. Seattle holds.
And when all is said and done, perfect positioning on the cruise. Might not have hit the guy, but the man calling it in that's going to be out of the play in that moment is blocking spawns the entire time. So Sid finds himself in the perfect position and tries to make it deliver. Final 15 seconds, London. I don't know if they're going to fight for it or just try to contain these players. They actually want to chip it away, and they're just going to end up trading a couple players out, strip away an extra 2 seconds, and buy themselves a little bit of space on rotation, or maybe buy themselves a little bit too much. Asim, as is constant on HyDra, ends up spawning out.
Man, I mean, if you couldn't tell me where he spawns, you couldn't. I could never guess. Sib now clearing hard point. Oh Oh, that's a big one. Nastie gets dropped. That's a tremendous win from Sib. Hard point still in the hands of Seattle. Oh, they had no right to win that, but they do. Can we keep the Ravens players up the back line? No. Accuracy from the rear. Finds 2. A clean 4 down. No questions asked. Seattle's got the point.
Yeah, an absolute tragedy. I mean, Pred's looking so good right now. He's getting kills with stun grenades. And at that point, once you get the clean 4 down, easy hill to hold. You get everybody pushed out in the right directions, and at least you know where the pressure is coming from. But the contest is just long enough to keep Seattle at bay. So at least London fighting back on this hill and strip away an extra few moments. But it's not going to be easy to set yourself up on rotation, because look at where number 6 spawns, right at Dome. And that is just going to be the setup long term for, I mean, P2. I know it's a minute away, but Seattle's still in a decent spot.
Oh, great spot. 140 to 53 right now. No hard point time for anybody. We're going to rotate back over to P1 here in our second set. And so far, Seattle Surge firmly in control, firmly with the lead. But can they hold on to it? This time round, Ravens with the right-hand side of the map, mostly theirs. We'll see how those spawns go. Yeah, we're all good for now. Can they keep that P1 time ticking?
Oh, this is actually an important moment right here, just because you actually do flip those spawns. You took care of Mack, who got the spawn out over towards Dome, and now it's just about reading the water routes of Pred. As you see, long term, he's going to be the guy attempting to flip those spawns. But Asim with the reads, and London with the spawn control for the moment. Still a lot of control and time to fight for, though, on this P1 hill.
Yeah, the old splish splash on the exit. Nice work from Paul there. 2 on the front. No more here, though, for the Ravens. They're going to be taken care of. Last man alive, Scrapz, gun by accuracy. Great work out of Lamar there. Keeps those kills going. Time still now in the hands of Seattle Surge, as they are looking very smooth and very silky here on HyDra. Can they keep the hold going? So far, it's all good. Accuracy's on a 5.
Hey, that's a big 2-piece as well, because if Nastie had gotten the 3rd, Seattle would have been very far away on this approach to New. And good vision and crisp shots right there coming out of accuracy. You can't quite get the highlight reel finish, but at least sets his team up. More pressure. They know where the players on London are going to be. Now it's about this approach to P2, and they got the cruise missile to help.
Cruise is up. Let's go for a listen in. Seattle Surge.
One's on the bottom of the hill in the water, the B2 water. Okay.
Where'd you?
I'm hopping back left. Back here, it's dead. Nice. B2 water.
I just saw time.
I found that P1. They're gonna be P1. Time. They're gonna be P1. Back time.
He's one shot. One shot back time. One shot back time.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm just detonating. Hold on.
Should row as well, guys.
Yeah, I'll row.
I got one new.
Keep on my left.
2 on hold.
Okay.
2 on hold, okay? One more hold.
One more hold on me, guys.
I spawned in the back. We should
New on me.
Okay.
Pipes, bro.
Asim's the road.
In the back, in the back. Back pipes and pump.
Yeah, he's
cages on
me. Somewhere node.
There's 2 new.
All
Nice. There's back pipes and time.
Cages. There's one shot green.
Where'd he go?
He's inside green right now.
I'm going top.
Nothing, push that front. One's gonna be top window.
Top window.
P1, push that P1.
Top window.
One shot. P1, bro.
P1 dead. Top.
One was top windows. He's playing his life in there. I'm nading in there.
I'm close right now. I'm stacking him. I'm gonna try to hop up.
Oh, he's front door weak.
Another top, man.
Okay.
I shot on pond as well.
One was front door.
I hear you.
Nothing in the close corner.
He's in front. He's top dead.
Oh, I flew up on time. Close time, dead.
Pipes weak. Scraps. Dead. Nice.
Oh, my stairs. Left side stairs. He's back door right now.
I have it back there.
That's last guy.
I've been close up.
Guys.
Oh. Well, there we go. Seattle Surge. A little bit of a blunder there. The Ravens are right back in this one. Let's go to the other side of the stage now for a listen in.
Lamar, top 10, one shot. Lamar's top 10, push his time. Fritzko's big in his one out.
He's up there.
Dead, back to 20 out.
Top dome.
He's not.
I've been trying before. Top dome, by the way.
Yeah. Top dome.
You can spawn behind me, so you can still behind me. Y'all just got him in dome.
I'm trying to look for him. I don't see him.
The guy dome, dips.
I'm going in water.
You wanna play for dome, yeah?
He's out. Line down. Left.
Oh, L really weak, Simp. You just lay there.
Nah, I knew it, bro.
He's spawned out. He's
gonna be broken. I'm in the water. I'm gonna wait. Okay, flood dome again, alright?
You're gonna be top dome, brother.
Bomb dome.
I'm gonna go, wait.
Still middle, guys. Still middle.
Actually, the guy
L, one bullet, Dante.
Got mid out, bro. Yeah, he's mid broken. Accuracy's all the way up.
Back clay,
all the way up ruins.
AG's back clay.
He's top dome again.
Set up near here, guys.
Yeah, we might need to try and break this, to be fair.
He's top dome, one bullet, guys.
He's on a 5 again.
Hit it then. Hit broken. Bomb broken. He's in bottom left. He's bomb broken. In the left corner, bomb broken.
I'm broken.
Nice.
Is he out left?
Out left.
Yeah,
one's out left.
Sip,
right? Sip. Yeah.
Nothing broken.
That's him.
Good work out of the Ravens. Nobody to pull that lead back though. Chance and wonderful heads up play out of Pred. Reading that flank from Asim. Perfect spot to be in. Great map control right now for Seattle.
And now it's just all about that finish for Seattle. One good break, they should be able to close out the game. Only 23 seconds away, or points rather, to the dub. London know they have this set up, but there's so much pressure that Scrapz at least able to deal with the first two. So Ravens still got a little bit of fight in them, but obviously a long way to go.
Long way to go. Still got the point. Now Ice to the left-hand side. Uh-oh, Pred's in the back. This is the beginning of the end. Can Asim stay alive? He is. For now, still though, the aggression, the ruthless approach from Pred. 25 and 16 for him. Hard point now in the hands of Seattle. We're looking towards the end here, unless the Ravens can fight their way through the front.
Yeah, and there's just simply no way. Even if you could fight through this hill, it is just too big of a lead. Too little, too late for London, and not too much to offer, at least not on HyDra. It's been a sleeper pick in this stage for Seattle, and they're looking to close the door. 250 to 147. They get the job done.
A dominant display from Seattle Surge to start off the series here. Coach Phoenix in the back there, giving everyone that much-needed fist bump, little bit of love. On the other side there for the Ravens, chalk it up, roll on to the search and destroy. There is a fantastic opportunity for them to bounce back here in the series.
And it would be interesting to hear sort of Seattle's perspective on this map, because it was their auto veto basically throughout the first two stages. This is the first time where we've seen them not only let it in consistently, but they've chosen this map in the past as well. And by the past, I mean like, hey, last week. So I just don't know what the dynamic is of like what switch, but if I had to take a guess, it's just they finally figured out the spawns. Like that moment early on where Asim, for literally no reason, I mean, technically there was a reason, Simp spawned it out over towards P3, but not a good reason. But just the fact that Seattle had been able to read that, and consistently we have seen those moments from this team of where they're reading like these chaotic spawns nonstop. I think they finally just cracked the code in scrims. Like I would just guess that early on it was just a sore spot for them, but they have a new map that they could throw in their rotation. It just adds a little bit extra danger that this team has in the pick and bans.
You need him. A deep playbook there is going to help you get your way towards champs happily. Now looking at the highlights from map number 1, HyDra in the books. Seattle Surge taking lead in the series, and they ran the kills chance for what the first 2 hard points, basically uncontested.
I'd say just for the fact that you go up with like a 70-point lead after the first 2 hills is just such like a comforting thing, like long term, because it makes like your decision making easier as the game goes on. You're not like too worked up about having to chalk up a 20 or 30 seconds like at some old time. You're just comfortable and know you can set up towards new. Honestly, that moment right there of like both Pred and accuracy challenging that P2 hill when there's only 20 seconds left is maybe the only sore spot and only mistake Seattle really made all game long. But Pred is obviously looking for kills because he gets most of the kills. Another fine slaying performance out of him and Simp.
Indeed. I mean, you can see what one big mistake from Seattle Surge cost them there, though. The Ravens netted themselves, what, a good 80 to 100 points of time. Got to be looking at those mistakes with a very, very keen eye and trying to eliminate those, because some of the top teams, they're really going to run it. It won't be 100 points. It could well be a map. Ravens, though, they're going to bounce back here in the search and destroy. Their mode has been very, very strong indeed against some of the finer opponents in the league. Let's see if they can bring the noise here against Seattle Surge, as that first map was not terribly kind to them indeed. Kudos again to Sib and accuracy. 26, 24, and 18 between the two of them. 26 and 17 there for Pred. And Mack, he had his flippers and his snorkel on, mate. He was swimming.
Assists, you know?
The whole
We'll look at the assist for him.
No, but like, I mean, not even the assist, but it's those intangibles. Mack was the guy finding spawns. He was the man hitting the routes. He was certainly the cutoff player there. So great work again out of Seattle Surge. A well-rounded effort there on HyDra. Now, though, we go to aBeZy. A very, very different look, especially when it comes to search and destroy. Ravens with a bounce back. Let's see if Surge have learned from their mistakes, chance.
Well, the thing about those maps, though, is that Surge now just have the golden opportunity. Like you have on the side of London, they have 3 maps in the game out of 13 where their record is above 500. That would include HyDra Hardpoint and the final 2 that we have in this series. So I think the reason I was thinking, hey, maybe a game 5 is because maps like HyDra were kind of strong for them. Not a great look in map number 1 compared to Seattle and the aBeZy and the aBeZy Fortress Control. As Nameless pointed out, they've been daggers on the side of London. I mean, they've been the worst team on aBeZy S&D by a decent margin. And then on the flip side, it's more positive things for Seattle, where they've been the best team on offense on aBeZy Control. And that's a lethal threat if you can like orchestrate your offensive rounds on that map. So I think Seattle are very poised and ready to go to try to get a 3-0.
Yeah, the veto is looking very strong for them indeed, but especially when it comes to that Fortress Control. We had a sort of a saying, I think it was Black Ops 4, and the United was so good at this. Was the old Simp aBeZy squad back in the day with Clay and Arcee's Priestahh. They were so good at the game mode, we basically just said, look, let's just start them off one up in the series. Let's just not even play control. Let's just give them the one, and we play a best of, like, we play like the next 4 maps. Like, that's how we run it. And that, for a long time, was the way. But right now, the way for Seattle could well be the same thing. This fortress control is going to be strong for them, but enough for that. Let's wind it back a tiny bit over to Embassy Search and Destroy. Here we go.
And this is the thing. Like, I know the Achilles heel, as Ali put it, for Seattle Surge is their S&D. Their record on this map is terrible, 1-5. But it's not worse than London, who are 0-3, like both on offensive and defensive rounds. If it's not for the fact that your Vegas Legion got 6-0'd by Atlanta FaZe, I think London would be dead last in almost every single stat. Offensive round, defensive rounds. They're actually good in the first blood category, not in converting the first bloods, and not good in the 3v4s. They don't even stop bomb plants. London, this map has just been a massive struggle point for them, and they've played it recently too. So they haven't really shown us too much, but hey, against Seattle, you never know.
They haven't shown Seattle anything either. They all stacked up towards A right off the rip here, and that's not where the bomb is going, sadly. B, though, now towards the back. Sneaky. Asim. Oh, no, it's Brenda Stairwell. Guns him. Peace out. That's a lot of map control now going the way of the Ravens.
Okay, again, quick maths, or just a couple quick stats for you. They're decent on the first bloods. They're not good at converting. They give up the bomb plant 70% of the time on this map. They successfully retake 11%. That's what they have to do now.
So what you're saying is the retake's not very good. And right now you got 30 seconds to prove us all wrong, Ravens. Here we have it. Mack. He's peeking. He's creeping. Has he sniffed out Matty Marshall? He has indeed. It's another down as the Ravens all come down to Nastie. And Nastie, what has he got in the tank? He's not running anything too premium right now. He's no Sib's going to be there. Massive snap, an incredible individual win, but it's over to Mack now, the 1v1, and that's the round. Good job, Seattle.
And I'll say it slower this time so we can all be on the same page in case anybody missed it. London are capable of getting first bloods. They are not capable of clutching 3v4s, and on this map specifically, they give up the bomb plant 70% of the time, and they only retake successfully 11%. And that is exactly how that round went. They didn't try to stop the bomb plant at all. They got the first blood and still could not convert. That's the Raven special on Embassy.
That's crazy. Statistically, everything that we thought may have happened has happened. We buy in
Shout out Tim for that one.
Shout out Tim. Shout out the stats team. Seattle Surge take the first. Lovely work there again from Nastie with the old snaps. Mack with a round-winning kill, essentially. Simp, though, oh dear. This could get very loud very quickly if he could land a sniper or two. Ravens with the aggression, though, towards the bomb site. Trophy's going to be in place. They might be able to get this one down. Nastie, gone. Sib gets it. First blood.
Yeah, such a lethal threat, and you've already got Pred behind enemy lines on the flank as well. So right now, Seattle, they are just in prime position to win this round for free. You can spot the guy on bomb as well, and just how you wrote it down. That is exactly how Surge want to play these rounds.
So clinical, and Asim's going to smash the glass open. Come at me, bro, and they do. Surge with another strong round indeed. This time, Pred, big work on that flank.
And just to go back to the drawing board, if I'm London, if I have access to stats and they have a team, they have to be aware that they're not being successful on these bomb retakes. I like even the strat that Seattle pulled out. Pull out a snipe, be a little bit more aggressive, get all the stuns and nades out, do something to stop these bomb plants, or at least slow it down enough that a guy like Pred can go all the way around on the flank, get in position, and then stop the bomb plant or just kill the guys after the fact. And Ravens round one just gave it up for free. Now the coordinated nades, though, to try to get a little bit of stoppage out towards B. Obviously, though, Seattle not falling for any sneaky ones. Maybe it will be a flank from Nastie is the new attempt for London.
Stun check. Nobody home. Mack's going to fly out now. He might be able to get himself into a fight. Nastie in the back line. He wins the fight. Scrapz wins his in the middle of the map as well against Mack. So great work so far for the Ravens.
And just the beautiful work of at least shutting down the bomb plant. You see where that ends up getting dropped as soon as Mack is going to fall. And now Nastie gets a corner. Any corner, Pred's going to hunt him down. And this will be a 2v4 attempt with bomb down for Pred and accuracy.
We get to now just sort of listen to the ambient sounds of the burning embassy here in Al Mazrah. Here comes Pred. Oh, shoulders. Pops his daddy. The wind up. Oh, it's the old ring around a rosy. It's the straight back at it. Asim saw him on the cross there, though. Over towards this long line of sight. That's where accuracy is going to have a great time.
2v2.
And he makes it a 2v2. Nate checks. Scrapz, though, down the back alley. There's only one Matty Marshall. He's made it a 2v1. Pred's still roaming, though. This ain't over yet, chance. Okay, it's done.
Oh!
Lordy. Yep. I think Scrapz said, let's go, boys. There's a lot going on here. A lot of F sounds on the lips there. You can see I'm not a lip reader, but he's excited. He's well excited.
Yeah, that's a good shout as well coming in from Scrapz. I thought Pred had him dead to rights as soon as he got in the corner, and Scrapz is the one that delivers that round because that was a 2v4 that was one gunfight away if accuracy wins that against Scrapz, where Seattle end up clutching up, but much better work out of London. They stopped the bomb plant. They got the kills. The flank from Nastie was perfect. And it got dicey, but they clutched up towards the end as well. So nice little bounce back, and now it's about dealing with Pred and Mack instantly. They're just going to punch him in the mouth of this one. Pred, no cares in the world, and maybe should have cared just a little bit more. Gives away his life, but his team still has that advantage.
Yeah, and they do indeed. Scrapz, though, fighting for his life over there by that side of the embassy. Simp in the 1v2, both windows populated. He's got one, and he's snaked his way into the win. 3v1 right now. Nastie, last man up for the Ravens, less than a minute to go.
And they know where he is too. As soon as he breaks the glass, accuracy is just going to be staring at this cross. No one needs to peek. Just wait for him to feed it the information, and it'll be a freebie towards the middle of the map. Aggression at the start, patience towards the end, and effectively another perfect round. The only small mistake is Pred getting a little bit overconfident, but you can see it in his eyes. He is ready for the gunfights.
Surge after that historic losing streak in Search and Destroy have managed to turn that big old boat around, and they keep it going here against the Ravens. Looks like the Ravens play in a completely dark facility, doesn't it? With just the light of their monitors keeping them ablaze right now. Can we get Paul a kill though? That's the question. 0-3 so far. It would sure help in the rounds.
Well, we'll see if they can stop the bomb plant, because again, for London, it's all about the flanks for these guys, and this time Pred's just going to deal with at least the first. But this is going to be bombed down, and again, the retakes has been the struggle point for London. It looks like it's going to be up to Nastie and Paul. Again, Paul looking for his first kill, and he's going to find it on the retake. They got the advantage now.
Here comes Lamar. Top side of the embassy. Great power position. He needs to be here to really stop those players from the Ravens hitting the defuse. Here comes Paul. Check this corner. Massive work out of accuracy. That's a huge kill. 5-2 overall. Top side now cleaned out. Nastie once again all alone now in a seemingly impossible situation. Yeah, there's no way. There's simply no way he gets this. He can chow Mack all he wants, but they're going to play that positional advantage. Good work, Surge. Another strong round.
And, you know, even watching these rounds, it's not just the fact that, like, they're miserable at actually retaking the sites when they're giving up the bomb plants completely for free. It's also the fact that they're letting the guy that plants the bomb live. Because not like you have to deal with accuracy and top PD, who obviously can pop dead silence and just pick a corner, any corner. And it's so difficult just to root him out. And then even by the time you get accuracy, well, Mack's still alive, and now he's playing top AC. And like, it's just another clutch spot. Like, they're giving up the bomb plants for free, not killing the guy planting the bomb. And it's so difficult to win rounds like that.
Oh, yeah. But Surge are playing for the priority positions. They're nailing it. Another round up. We got Paul on the board in the last one. Yep, see you later. Sip's going to hold that one for a mo. His boy Pred, though, downstairs in laundry. He's not putting socks together. He's keeping the Ravens pinned, and oh, I love this movement. Sip trying to be a difficult kill, and he's well hard to kill from there. Oh, a tag! You're kidding me! Marker there from Scrapz. Still a 4v4 for now. Oh, he's going back for it. The double dip from Sip. Oh, and there's Pred, finally. Takes care of the socks, takes care of Paul. Man advantage, Seattle.
I mean, that hit marker is just a heartbreaker. And now you only have 35 seconds on the clock to work with. I guess you take care of Sib, but still not a lot of time to try to force this bomb plant. And obviously, Mack playing down low. Seattle a little bit less interested in giving up the bomb for free.
Oh, see if Mack... Oh, he's going to hit that top window. He's been spotted. No, he hasn't actually. Scrapz didn't see him. Ah, no! And he's just been taken care of. Unfortunate timing. Ah, it's falling to pieces. It's going to be a 5-1 in a moment. Can Scrapz do the unthinkable? The answer is no. Seattle Surge have come to play today. 5-1 here on the Search.
Yeah, and you know, the hit marker is almost just salt in the wound on this map at this point, but just for the fact that you're running out of time, Scrapz doesn't look over his teammate when he's trying to get the bomb down. Mack just pokes his head out and gets the kill for free, and just not a lot of coordination there, but obviously Scrapz a few different things to worry about. He's got to worry about the flank as well, so a little bit too extra, not enough time, and obviously in that moment, a clean first blood from Pred that slows everything down.
Map points Seattle Surge. This is to take a 2-0 lead here in the series. Trophies, oh, they connect. Good work. The absolute bombardment there from the Ravens, and Paul has just flown out in the middle of the map. Doesn't check a thing. Gets absolutely smoked. Accuracy is there as well. Asim in the 1v4. Go on, do it. Ninja. Okay. Here we go. Stun check, lands it. No, he doesn't. Tags are there, though. Oh, my God. Asim, he is so confident. And I love this out of Seattle. Back to Old Faithful. Gunned. 1v1. You know he's up there, dude. Daddy's been reset. Oh, wait. No shot. Do it, Asim. Do it. Lamar's going to check the bomb soon. He has to. He just has to. Time ticking. Oh no, it's not gonna happen. My God.
What a read.
What a read. Seattle Surge. Steely resolve. Don't let the shenanigans of Asim get in the way, and they win the search 2-0 here in the series.
Oh my God. I mean, look, they got the first blood and then it just all died. It just instantly. I guess maybe that's why they don't try to, or why they give up the bomb for free, because they tried to stop it that time. It just got obliterated. But Seattle Surge, who nearly broke the record for most S&D win loss, or like most S&D losses in a row, just destroyed them 6-1 on aBeZy. So yeah, we'll go to map 3.
Map 3 it is, ladies and gents. And this is the death knell right now for the Ravens. This is the 3-0, unless they can pull some magic out across that control. Till then, though, a great attempt from Asim there in the final round. Not quite enough, though. Powerful positional advantage played there by Seattle in every single round. The playbook was deep. They were very mobile on the map, extremely active, and they had those power positions. You name it, man. It was all going well for them. 6-1. Final score. Is this the end of the Seattle Surge search and destroy drought? I hope so. Well, ladies and gents, there we go. 2 maps down. 3 to go potentially. But if you've heard Chance say anything today, you know that Fortress Control, Nameless said it as well, that Fortress Control is a very good one for Seattle Surge. We'll find out if the Ravens can find anything here in this series, or will there be another 3-0 on the build-up to Major 3? We'll find out after this.
The Call of Duty League is presented by the GMC Hummer EV Pickup, the world's first all-electric super truck. Upgrade your game with the Scuff, the official controller of the Call of Duty League.
Let's get it, chat. Welcome back. We hope you enjoyed that. Getting us ready to rock and roll on this next part of the series, and it could be the last part of the series for the Ravens, because we're going to play Control. And Control chance, not been very good, has it?
No, not at all. Not for London. However, for Seattle, godlike. Again, anyone that has even remotely touched rank play that has played on aBeZy Control knows that offensive rounds are just, they're brutal. You get stuck in a spawn trap, you get maybe a moment in the game where you can get out of your spawn and create anything. Except for Seattle, best on offense. They have a positive record on the attacking rounds. They have a positive KD on the attacking rounds. And this is like not just a one-off. Like, it is statistically significant. They have played this map quite a few times. To be that good on offense is utterly ridiculous. And obviously, they're going against London, who it has been a struggle point for them all year long. Maybe just another opportunity to pad those stats.
Unfortunately, we have had a player drop out of the game just for a moment. We're getting this one launched up ASAP. Funny enough, I sometimes like to drop out, wink, wink, nudge, nudge, just before an aBeZy Control as well. So I can't lie when I say I relate a little bit, whoever it was. Know what I'm saying? You got it. Chat's got me. I know Chat's got me.
Strap. I play this map. I go hard on this map. It doesn't work all the time, but like, I'll try. I'll take some. I'll take the exact same gunfight 20 times on a map. I'll do it.
Well, here we go. Before we get into this one, another look at the maps and modes brought to you by the GMC Hummer EV. First two maps, a blur. A blast of Seattle's surge gunfire as they roll now into Fortress Control. If we do stick it out here on Fortress, there's a hard point after that. And then we're going to Hotel Search and Destroy to close out the series. Now, Game 5, Jeremy Studd, he may not be working today, but he came in today absolutely flapping, say it's going to be Game 5s all day. I say, instead of that, why don't you go to the store and check out some of the sweet merch that we have here in the Call of Duty world. Shop.callofdutyleague.com. You can get a banging hoodie. And I do think that actually that is the all of those camos, that's the same camos these teams use in-game as well. So we absolutely love that. The official shop of the Call of Duty League. And if IRL gear isn't for you, don't forget you can also rock these in-game skins. And all of this required, you just have to go to the store on MW2 Warzone 2.0. All of the team packs are available now. Not a single one of them better than the other. They're all beautiful. They're all perfect. Just like everyone like you in the chat. Here we go, team. Almost ready to party. Still nearly there. Yeah. It's going to be a good day of games. Very excited, actually, for today's matches. Really excited for the major upcoming chance. We've talked a little bit about that. A lot of favorites going in this tournament. And whatever happens, it's going to be an incredible show, man. I mean, OpTic Texas always run a good major. The last major was the first one of the Vanguard season. Amazing experience. Crazy times. What was your favorite moment of the major one last year?
Maybe Hex when he was like calling out the crowd after like they were trying to go away for some sneak diffuses. Hex is always a good time, especially in moments like those. So that was up there, but honestly, just how loud the venue got, sort of a closed in space. I think, honest to God, that was the loudest crowd I've heard in Call of Duty. Like, even if they're like other venues may be technically louder just because of the size, the place was ridiculous. Like, it was a bonkers event, and I think it's going to live up to the expectations, especially if the TST guys are going to bring the hype again as well.
Yeah, big old drum. We know Hitch and the boys will be drumming the heart sound shower Hex for keeping those filthy, rotten cheaters at bay. I think the exact words he said was, the guys don't need your help to win. They just want your support. Something like that. So keep it hush, you filthy animals. Look at the matchup. We're almost ready to play. We've got standings soon as well. Oh, hello, standings. This is what we're looking like going into Major 3. Now, third week now of play so far. Røkkr yet to get a win. Guerrillas yet to get a win. The Florida Mutineers, though, 1-3 for them. Chance. Any major surprises for you here?
Well, I think, it's really the bubble, right? Just Vegas and London, both with the 1-2 record. I think for Vegas, like, if they get a win, that might be the first time in their, like, organization's history they start in the winner's bracket at a tournament. So the next series we have on our hands is going to be incredibly impactful. And for London, it's not that extreme overall, but same spot in terms of the record. Like, this is when they need. I know they recently just picked up their 4th series win of the year just last week. And I will say, Miles, if you're selling soap, I will sell the story. The final 2 maps that we have are still strong ones for London and have been all year long. And I know this one looks like a Seattle win because of how good Surge has been on offense, but it is still a massively defensive-sided map. So London, they just need to create those moments and find that opening break on offense, shut them down on defense. You can still just go 3 for 3 on defensive rounds and be one of the best teams in the game.
It's very, very possible. Not over yet for the Ravens. Let's see how we go, though, in the control. The Ravens will be on defense first. Kills going their way so far. Pred changes out, a little bit of help from his teammates, and now this is what Pred wants. The apparition of aBeZy Fortress now roaming the halls. Gonna find these kills all over the place. It's gonna be difficult to deal with. He's gonna be sneaky, he's gonna be fast, he's gonna be angry, and he's got a 2-piece.
That's as good as it gets on the opening break. You get Pred out and about. The apparition, I think, is what you called him, and his disappearing act, he just gets to pick a new corner, and London had to spend so much time just looking for him, and if you try to ignore him, you're just gonna spend the next few minutes getting shot in the back on cooldown, or Paul can gun you down. And I think this second tick didn't actually go through, so all things considered, London making up for a pretty bad start.
Oh, Paul ain't afraid no ghost. Scrapz holding down that side of the map as well. Ravens stay alive, and now draining that second segment on towards A. Great defensive work, about 40-ish seconds remaining on the round. We will see what happens next. Max cracked his way through top maps. Stuns, nades, you name it, it's all getting thrown. The kitchen sink has just hit Asim in the face. He's still chilling, holding the line now. His teammates have got the coverage. This is good defensive work again. 30 seconds. Keep it all tight. Keep it together. Oh, Asim is so sneaky, so dangerous.
Oh, there it is.
Oh, Lordy. What a 2. It just freaked his game out.
Yeah, I even see the face cam. Yeah, I think the entire lobby just reacted to that. That could have been a dagger if that didn't go that well, because right now, this is as good as it gets for London. You get picked apart on the opening break, but now you turn this into streaks for Asim. But Seattle still find the opening. 2 bodies back over towards A. And it looks like that second tick is going to go through, and I'd say if you get at least 2 ticks, you're feeling pretty good. And if you can get the third, that's even better for an attack.
Never chalk, though. Never chalk. There's the contest. Ravens still trying to keep this defensive round going their way. Oh, and it was Asim. Mack, though. A flying elbow from the top rope takes care of him. Final few moments now. Anyone able to get onto the point? Oh, dear. Clock's ticking. Nastie could be the hero. There it is. We have requested a timeout. We'll deal with that in a moment. For now, the guns are up, and we have got ourselves on point B, though. Oh, accuracy snuck through.
Yeah, London, though, they still need to have a lot of pressure over towards A, so you have to win these gunfights. You take care of him, and the pressure on A is still there. And that is wonderful news for London, who only give up 2 ticks. I know that's still, reasonable for an offensive round for Seattle, but for how bad that could have been off the opening break, Ravens have to be satisfied. They got the cruise missile. They shut him down. They dealt with the weird lag spike that popped up out of nowhere in the middle of a seam streak, but they get the first round. Clean on defense. That's the way aBeZy goes.
Well, you remember in the Matrix when Neo starts to believe that he's the one, he starts to cause more problems in the Matrix, like more bugs, more deja vu and stuff. I think that's just what happened with Asim there. He was on that 6 spree and the code started to crack. He is the one. Technical timeout here, ladies and gents.
I'm fine with Asim being the Keanu Reeves of the CDL. That is, I'll allow it.
He's so lovable. You can't not love him. You know what I'm saying? He's just the greatest.
Genuinely made me happy when the series started. We saw the hand claps. The hand claps coming through. It's a staple.
Sure how pumped he was to win that last one. I don't know what's going on the other hand there, but he is. Everyone's feeling good. Hey, you got hand warmers. That's what's up. Everyone's feeling good here for the Ravens. Asim is a fantastic in and out of game teammate. We've talked about him plenty over his exciting career throughout the Call of Duty world. Doesn't let anything get to him. He brings his A game all the time. I know he's got a lot of fans across the many chat shows there in the CDL world. Also, see if he can't keep that energy up throughout this matchup. Technical timeout still underway, ladies and gents. We'll find out what's going on. In the meantime, let's get to watch these players' faces and try to liberate them.
Well, lip read if you want. I know, look, I know these players speak English on the London camp, but sometimes, man, it can be tricky for us Americans. We're not always super sure about what's going on, but I will say I kind of dig the bedroom vibes, practice like you play, and if you practice at home in the dark, might as well bring that out for tournament time as well. The only thing illuminating them is really stun grenades. That'll brighten up their day quite a bit.
We got comp ops in the in the game right now, having a quick look and see what was going on there, see what the player issue was, and for now you can see that the game is totally paused there on Sib's glasses. Shout out Sib for always wearing the glasses, man. We can basically see his game the whole time. Like, who's that? Why? And who is it? going absolutely crazy with this.
Pred would be my guess.
Crazy right there. But yeah, Sib's going to be chilling for a moment as we find out exactly what's going on here, ladies and gents. Compops is on the case. Big fans of the folks over at Compops. Wish them all the best of luck in resolving these nasty little gremlins that occasionally crop up. Accuracy now, though, a time to just chill. Now, will this ice Seattle Surge chance? They've got their defensive round up now. There's not a lot of chat between them. I feel like the Ravens, it's non-stop game planning right now. Non-stop chit-chat, and it looks like that we're ready to go. Here we have it. Seattle Surge defensive round. Ravens up by 1.
No,
sorry, no, sorry
about hanging out, but they do look good in spawn. I would say a very fun stat to actually have is, like, they're not bots. Whatever you call the things that you shoot in the firing range, like the, I don't know what it is, but the number of those that Sib has killed in between maps, because this man is nonstop. If he's not playing, he is still shooting his gun. Honestly, this is probably the most heartbreaking time Sib ever experiences, when he's just stuck and not allowed to move and shoot his gun. Yeah. He can't handle it.
He can't handle it. Here we go, ladies and gents. Round 2 of aBeZy Fortress Control. Let's get into it. Ravens versus Surge. Ravens on offense.
Ooh, and again, Asim does have that cruise missile in the back pocket, so if you ever find those opportunities, maybe some progress over towards B, you never know that you can pull out of the back pocket. But as far as the opening breaks go, already first blood there for Seattle, who again just want to keep things nice and secure. No funny business just yet. A sole player that got out towards A gets chopped down immediately, clean 4 in the feed, and that already might be the route.
He saw the makings of what the Ravens were trying to do there. They all got out. They managed to pick a corner, hoping for Seattle to overcommit. But now Seattle way too comfy right now. They were big chilling. They've got all the power positions once again. We saw them do it in the Search and Embassy. Now we're seeing them do it on aBeZy Fortress. And with 50 seconds remaining on the round. Oh! What's going on, son? Okay. Fred, you tell me.
Turning back the time. We even had glitch since Black Ops 3, but we just hit the full rewind on this one.
It's all good. We're back, though. 35 seconds remaining on this one, and it wasn't a game issue. It was us. Don't worry about it. Having a little bit too fun with the rewind button. Chance with a great shout out to BO3. 25 on the round. Ravens yet to get on the point. 1 set kills, though, and they're free.
Yeah, all my references are Call of Duty related. I think someone else probably thought of Doctor Strange, just turning back time with the Time Stone, I guess,
yep, well
is
done,
what it was.
You did it. Yep.
I did the thing. Let's go. I watch movies. I'm cultured.
That's my duo, ladies and gents. Here we go. Clock's ticking. Ravens still trapped. Scrapz the last ditch sprint. Wait a minute. He guns 2 on the way out. There's only one. Matty Marshall. 2 seconds on the clock. 3 members of the Ravens posted up. Look at all 4. Screw it, lads. Stack it up. That zone is going to turn to dust. Here comes Pred. What can he find? Anything hit? No. The Ravens with the kills. They keep it going. They capture the point. Unbelievable.
That is actually godlike too. They were down by 2 ticks. They were 2 seconds away from just getting absolutely stuffed on offense, and then every single player on Seattle blinked at the exact same time, and Scrapz picks up 2, an already successful round. They did just get 3-piece, so I think Seattle should be able to reset up that spawn trap and be annoying in your base once again. But beautiful work. That is all it takes on this map. Just a moment. That's exactly what London just got.
Well, they've got 30 seconds to find another moment right now for the Ravens. Paul and Nastie upstairs waiting for that opportunity to fall into their laps. They might have to manufacture something, though. Clock's ticking. You're running out of time, lads. 20 to go.
And I just appreciate London. Also, all 4 of those players, 0 time wasted, jumping on the point instantaneously. They knew the name of the game. It is a tick battle on this map, and now you can pump the brakes and try to play for kills just a little bit in the event you end up in tiebreakers, because obviously they just got massively outside on lives.
Yeah, massive outside, but there, the capture of that A zone does net you 3 segments, so that's going to be them above Seattle Surge now in the segment count. Very important when we get to that final round. We'll see what happens, though. As Surge now back over to offense. Can they find some success? And by success, I literally mean any more than 3 seconds captured. That'd be amazing. Well, that would actually be amazing.
The interesting thing about this to me as well is that Asim has the cruise missile. If you get stuffed on your first round of offense where you get 0 ticks, you're basically forced to save it for your next offensive round and try to like create that perfect moment to utilize the cruise. But now you have options. Now you can use it as a defense mechanism when you're on the defensive rounds. You at least get to play with it a little bit more. It's a minor thing, but it could pay off for London.
All those little things. Any advantage you can possibly get here on aBeZy, I'll take. Cleans up there. London's defensive line has had to fall back somewhat. Uh-oh, Max found a hole. He's in. Paul's gunned. Pressure down towards 8. The clock has been stopped at 106. Still a one-man capture for now, but what you're looking at now from Seattle is great map control, accuracy. Found himself in that open corner. Oh, he found a kill. He can get on a B in a moment as well. Will the crews hit, though? I look like trophies are all over the place. Well, it lands. It takes care of Mack. Safety for now. Ravens stay alive.
And Miles, that was the exact scenario I was talking about. If you're like down on ticks, you basically have to use it on offense because that's the only way you can get defense for the round 5. One moment for Seattle to get out of their spawn. You use the crews and get rid of the trophies with attacks and nades to at least try to stop the bleeding. But obviously that is a minor thing, and the major problem is now Seattle has more pressure on A.
Pressure on A. Scrapz 11-7. Finding the kills. Mack's up next. Does get it. Second segment gone. Good looks from Seattle. They need one more segment on A to add a minute to the clock. And then if they can get one on B, which has been the plan, accuracy's, he's been top side of the map every single life. He's trying to keep that lane open for the boys. Asim with the multi-kill there as the lads are doing everything they possibly can to keep finding these kills.
Well, a couple of different players licking walls, and good luck trying to snap out of that one. There's another Marvel reference. We're 2 for 2, but server in that moment, 22 seconds to go, and it looks like London have just been able to continue and keep the stranglehold on the map. So similar to round 1, but I guess with 14 seconds left, you never know. Seattle still might be able to get out.
10 seconds remaining. Crazier things have happened. Here we go. Oh, Nastie and Paul, great work there in the feed. Final 5, that is it. Unless Pred can teleport, and I don't think that's one of his operator abilities. Lads, you've done it. You've kept them off the point. You've copped the segment lead as well. Ravens up by 1. Map point.
Yeah, that's the name of the game. 1 segment difference. That is, well, they're also going to be down on live, so they're probably going to need 2 segments unless they can massively outslay on offense. Not super likely, so going for the 2 segments or just the win. You can do it either way, but obviously you're playing for the defense on the round 5. 2 ticks is what they need. In the moments where they were able to create it, first round on offense, London got completely smoked until there was 2 seconds left on the clock, and they were managing to break out. And then even in round 1, their moment was Asim getting the cruise missile that was the bailout in the previous round. So a lot of little things going for London, but you still have to execute in this round.
Different looks this time, not going towards A. Heavier stack towards B, but accuracy's in position. Catches 2. Oh, he sees them. Can he get the kill? No, he's in. Simp
Big trades.
Oh, no! The Ravens are in. They're on to B. The capture begins.
I mean, this could be for the tie as well. And actually, looking at this slang, it's not too bad. So you have the option if you get this first segment to close out either way. But there you go. They got the second, and they got the stack on B. Seattle looking to swarm, but it's too late. The point is gone. Defense is secured, and now it's about if London can just straight up win this round.
They're going to do what they can. What a turnaround here on aBeZy. Oh, my word, Asim. Left stick locked forward. That boy don't stop. 2 minutes on the clock and 23 lives for London to throw at A. Now, can they throw those in a way that helps them get out of this spawn? Because here we go, the trap's on.
I mean, hey, as long as they just don't feed streaks, I think you're chilling on this round. You got options, so take your time and look for these breaks. Pred's going to be dealing with 3. Can't even deal with the first. Asim just guns them while flying by. And now you see London dolphin diving and moving their way out, trying to set up these baits, trying to look for an avenue of attack, but easier said than done. Simp accuracy, locking it down with attack 56.
And Pred and Mack, they're now in the happy place. Submachine guns are in top maps. Mack gets a little eager. We can take that though. Paul, he's up next. And whoa, big wins. It's a 3 spree there from Mack. Cut down immediately. And can Scrapz get out? No, accuracy holding down. Horsey, locking it. Kills are up. Space to work with now for the Ravens. They fly forward. Just over a minute to go.
It's such a sick angle from Simp, though, getting the damage and the reads on those players as they cross. So they know it seems behind enemy lines, but I guess that doesn't make it easier. A couple players able to get out through the stable side of things and just trying to be annoying. Buy the time and buy some space on the map for London to start to make moves. And it is a difficult battle right now, but the trades are in. There's the 3 down. Sid, last man standing on A.
And Asim has found the courage and the space to fight his way up through the backline. Mack's up next, wins that battle as well. Sid to the front. Asim finds himself 2. The beams are there. 10 lives remaining for Seattle. It could come down to a slave fest. Can Nastie? No! Can't win the fight up front. Paul's up next. You have to keep this real estate alive and kicking for the Ravens. That's another big one. On to the point we now go. Cruise now from Simp. You're done, Paul. Bang! Gone. Eradicated. Final 20 to go.
And honestly, I didn't even notice that Simp had the cruise missile, but add that to the list of small moments that are an advantage for London of at least just burning that cruise missile towards the end. Of course, if you bring up the first one, looks like accuracy at some point was able to collect one as well. So
whoa,
maybe a moment or a tool, or maybe a last-ditch A-push.
Oh, last-ditch A-push. Simp, though, finding the kills. Last lives for Seattle. Can he get any more? No, Nastie wins it. Mack finds his kill. Oh, Nastie's got 2 of them. Pred's up next. Nastie, he's somehow finding these kills on point. And I don't believe what I've seen. I was at the opening night of Cocaine Bear, and this was crazier. The Ravens have won a control.
Miles, I'm very happy you're paying attention as well. I'm talking about cruise missiles. Meanwhile, London are talking about winning the game and calling it on that final offensive round, getting the job done and taking Seattle to task on a map that I think was unexpected for the lot of us. That's like the second time London have played aBeZy control all year long, but they get the job done. They create a decent number of moments. And hey, now they get their way to the tail end of the series. And again, maps 4 and map 5 looks so much sweeter for the Ravens camp.
Well, I think that's it, Chance. I think I might have peaked. My career's done. It's not getting better than that. 3-1 on aBeZy Fortress in a cool 10 minutes. Ladies and gents, the Ravens shocked us all. Can they continue to shock us again? We're going to go to a hard point here on aBeZy after this. But first and foremost, the highlights.
I mean, hey, and again, great moments the entire way through. Maybe the shining one being those like 2 different like open avenues that London are able to create just to start those offensive round progression. Even the opening break they had in the final round. I mean, they jumped on the B point almost instantly. I know personally, Miles, when we play, it is just the B breaks all day of like that is just what you try to force through and almost get the prayer out to that point. And London able to create it. They get the job done, and they turned this into an exciting series.
Far more interesting series, and I think for the team, it's just that confidence, man. I mean, you have a big turnaround moment, all of the little set pieces to break out of maps, to break out of those traps. A lot of them worked and paid off against a solid team like Surge. You're winning insane gunfights towards the end here from Nastie. I mean, that was sensational. Pred just deer in headlights, just running forward, trying to stop the guys getting out of gate, and no idea his teammates are getting ripped. And the Ravens somehow get that pop off. That's what you're looking for out of the squad. Can they keep that confidence up? Sky's the limit. We go now to another hard point.
And I'd say even great news for London is like everybody is creating those moments, right? I think that initial offensive round, Scrapz is the guy that picked up the big 2 to open things up for London to start making moves. You had Asim going on tears throughout that map. Nastie was going on the 4 or 5 spree towards the end, and even Paul had his moments where he was popping pieces. So very big team effort across the board, and especially so for Asim, 23 kills and 10 assists just to back it up. And he is a roller coaster of a player, and I think a player that has drawn a decent bit of attention, like half criticism and half praise for the year that he has had. But I know even like last week, like he was sick, he was dealing with it. He's putting like ice on his forehead because he's dealing with his own personal stuff. And hey, bounce back, looking a lot healthier now, and the gameplay, at least on that map, is backing it up. So well-rounded effort. You bought yourself to the latter half of the series, and for London, this is your opportunity. Not an easy map to beat Seattle on. Seattle do have a 5-2 record on Fortress Hardpoint, but as far as London maps goes, they only have 3 where they have a record above 500. Fortress Hardpoint is one of those, 4-2 overall, so they're ready for the battle.
You teased us at the start of the series saying that the latter half was definitely a favorable spot for the Ravens to be in. Whether they're going to get there, that was unlikely. Now that they've made it, though, oh dear, there's a little bit of sweat now on the brows of those Seattle players. We'll find out. But for now, mate, I'm just still reeling at the fact that we saw that victory there. Offensive wins on aBeZy, Ravens coming out of nowhere, 2 of them there, crazy stuff. We'll see what happens. But for now, yeah, aBeZy, and we got a hotel for game 5 if we have to get there, another big search and destroy map. But the way Seattle are looking, man, I think you wouldn't be too upset going to hotel. Just current form, very, very strong. 6-1 there on aBeZy. Hey, we'll see. While the things have happened now, but the moment for Seattle Search, just go, damn, something that really did happen to us there on aBeZy Fortress. We'll see if they can't regain, as the kids say. And Sib's back in his spot, Chance. You can see it. Those poor training dummies are getting absolutely whooped.
Training dummies, there you go. I was trying to think of that for such a long time. So target, hey, either way, Sib is the slayer of all of them. But this is a dangerous moment for Seattle. Still a comfortable map pick for them on map 4. This is the one that they chose in the series. But even though they got that big 6-1 win on aBeZy, London is the worst embassy team in the game, in my opinion. That is not the case for Hotel. London have a 3-1 record. And admittedly for Seattle, that was the map for S&D where they made sure they didn't falter on the record. It's where they got their first win to sort of break the curse, as it were. But that doesn't mean you're going to be massively confident going into a game 5. So Seattle obviously want to shut it down here, and London just playing with a bit more confidence, honestly, than what they've had. Nice little pop-off moment after the map 3, and obviously, a guy like Scrapz will always be bringing the energy.
I mean, Scrapz, I think for many players here, more recent Call of Duty League fans, they wouldn't have seen the majesty of Scrapz, through his come up, his World War II runs, or what he was like in Black Ops 4 on that FaZe roster alongside Asim. Crazy, incredible player to watch. Really strong personality, very fun, spicy in the interviews. I really miss more than anything, and I know the Scrapz fans are with me on this one. Do you remember those long form videos he used to make? He just pull up Twitter and just listen here, Vonda. Listen here, bro. Those were the days, man. What a time to be alive, though, as we now load into aBeZy Hardpoint. Fortress, sorry. You know what I'm saying.
A shirtless Scrapz at 2 o'clock in the morning. Just him in a phone where the magic happens.
Those were hilarious.
Dude, I want to see Scrapz on MTV Cribs. That's the content I need.
Here we go towards that first hard point as we get ourselves back into this match. Fortress hardpoint, that's another spicy one. All the same sort of crazy rules and trappings of the map apply, but that hardpoint's going to dance around once every minute. Look at that top side of the screen. 35 seconds remaining on this one, and Paul, louder, he's in that time.
Yeah, Paul's picking up the pieces, so they're going to be able to get the hard point time. But now the question is about those spawns in rotation. London dropped the ball just a little bit. I know a player on Seattle ended up just spawning out over towards P2, but still moments to try to recreate. A team kill comes through for Seattle. Even the gunfight's on the point with Scrapz gives you 1. There's the opportunity because Asim trying to be the playmaker. He's the guy spawning a couple of those surge players out at least towards the middle of the map. And if he wins these gunfights, he can block these back spawns. And this is it. You can shut it down and win this rotation, or Fred can kill your entire team and leave Asim by himself.
Oh, Asim though reads it. Oh, nice work. Great spawns. Good stuff. Ravens, they stay alive here on the P2 row. He's out of the top window. Nice work out of Mack. That's going to be the backline. Wide open. Mackenzie melts through the front. Can he get a third? Nastie back on up, son. There is an angry Mack coming around the corner from the gallows, and he's looking to hang you. 40 seconds remaining here on P2, and this is Surge firmly in control.
Yeah, that's a good example of the chaos spawns, right? Where 3 go down, cleaning the feed for Pred. Scrapz actually spawns up near Asim. The other 2 do not, but it seems like Seattle consistently able to make the best out of weird spawns like that and turn it into a P2 rotation, nice and secure. Mack has some nice shots as well. Him and Pred working together to keep that clearance. All the scrap time for Seattle. Now it's about that potential break to new.
And we oscillate again from one side of the map to the other. The Ravens now in trouble. They're the last man alive up there is going to be Nastie. The guns are up. Can he hold off the onslaught now from Seattle Surge? Accuracy. Whoa, Jesus. The smoothest of moves from Asim. Lordy. Frontline now. Sib holds it down. Kills going either side. The trap is now set one way or the other. We'll find out who's in trouble, though. The Ravens, they've got the time.
Yeah, it doesn't happen often where someone's laying down and somehow breaks their ankles, but accuracy delivers in that moment, and London taking advantage of that, trying to lock this hill down and trying to push up the map if they were able to. They do get stopped, so they're not going to be able to flip these spawns just yet, but nice little chunk of time they've got so far. 30 more to go.
Whoa! Ravens holding it down. The final 30 seconds. Eventually, you're going to start looking out. Okay, here it is. They've left the stables on their horses. They're roaming now across the map. The Ravens are trying to escape the right-hand side of the minimap. This is a big one, ranked play teammates. This is the game-winning move right here. Scrapz on a 4. Oh, big shots out of Sib. Brings him down. Final 10 seconds, and the Ravens, the spawns are not good for them. Seattle have held. The game plan remains strong, and they should be able to take the lead after this.
Yeah, still a good attempt by London, though, just to try to create that space on the right side of the map to leave the spawns open for Seattle, but now it's just Seattle's turn. It's that sort of 1-2 punch, the back and forth blow that you can have on this map, where each team just winning that rotation. And Seattle trying to hold so far. Asim looking for the timing. Him in accuracy in the standoffs that they have had. This time, Asim comes out on top.
Oh, Mack. Another big win. Hardpoint still in the hands of Seattle. Looking at that lead change. Not over yet, those. The cannons. Oh, dear. Nearly crosses up Pred there. Nice work again from Sib from P1. Beautiful tags. 30 seconds remaining. And Nastie's got in. This could be a problem for Seattle. Can they identify him quickly? Can they remove him from this power position by rails?
Yes, they can. Sim delivers. The snake's not good enough, and Surge continuing just to get most of this time. A few seconds get stripped away, and Scrapz looking for the end of it. His namesake wants to scrap time as well, but all said and done, he's only able to pick up 2, and maybe 10 seconds were stripped away from Seattle on this point. They have retaken the lead, but as the back and forth battle continues, London are set up around new.
We have got ourselves a hard point here on Fortress. So far, wonderfully close between both teams. Nothing like that first hard point we saw. HyDra was a thing of the past with the seam 3 in the feed. Whoa, nearly gets all 4. That'd have been unbelievable, though. Lead change, they're working on it from the Ravens. Sib in a good spot to help his boys out. They can cross over. No, Scrapz is there. Accuracy on the pitch. Dealt with. Ravens. Oh, they've all been brought down. Good work, Seattle. That's the break.
Yeah, clean foot. Yeah, look at Seattle reading those spawns, too. So 3 players on London spawn on the right side of the map. Seattle, though, heads up that the P2 spawn was going to be open. That is the comms in those moments for Seattle. Had to have been perfect. And obviously, the chaos continues, where half of the players for London are spawning on the right side of the map. The other half are spawning on the left. And Seattle heads up, but that doesn't make it easy.
No, nothing about Al-Bagra Fortress is easy. Seeing finding those kills. Mack dancing away over here by the horse statue. New hard point up. Back over to P1 we go. And good work from Seattle Search. It was not a great start. Neck and neck run. But towards the end, they start to pull ahead. Nice work there from Mack. Finds the head of Asim. Now over towards the hard point, we draw our attention. Ravens holding it down. Looking for spawns for P2 as well. That will be on the cards in a moment. But for now, lovely time.
That's also such a good read from Nastie, just to watch those jump ups as well. That's a heartbreaker when you're the player trying to muscle up into the window. And these are the key gunfights that can buy you so much time, accuracy, and Paul. Little standoff in the moment, trying to get the final bullet, and it's a nade that gets it done. So Seattle, they at least get the break on a point and start racking up some time. And honestly, a little thing like that could be a massive swing in the game, especially so as these London players are spawning out.
The Ravens, they're spawning up, but they've still got a lot of control towards the top left-hand side. That's it. Gallows spawns. That's what they want. About 20 points are going to separate them. 30 by the time this time gets finished. Over towards the Gallows we now go. The Ravens, they are in position. How are your breaks, Seattle? Let's find out.
Well, good news so far. Able to pick up those first 2 kills. Simp trying to stay alive on that back tractor, but eventually gets taken care of. And some people think it's a forklift because they would be correct, but I now have the full setup on the hill. Is Search going for the 2-2 split.
The man's licensed for it. Oh, Asim though on the flanks, cut him down, eyes towards the front. He could jump out of front single here and just get into the fray. That is what Asim does. He flies into the action. Max up next. Good guns. As the Ravens are still not quite back in this, but they're holding this point fantastically.
And look at those spawns for London. One guy spawns out at P3, the other guy spawns out by P1. And hey, you spawn far enough away that Seattle, even though they got 4-man wipe, they spawned up in the middle of the map, so they're able to just storm away and try to get this time. But for the battle for 20 seconds, Paul's trying to be annoying while his entire team is trying to rotate towards new. It's 3 Ravens flying at a single accuracy.
What can accuracy do? Oh, nasty by name, nasty by nature. That's the new hard point in the hands of the Ravens again. Another great rotation. Seattle, let's see how good your breaks are. They haven't really been able to get into the P3. This has been such a solid bastion of time for the Ravens. Through the front, though, Sib, newfound purpose, spurring him forward. Can they get the break here?
Well, this is London right now fighting for their series, and that is the good start from Asim, who's going on the flank. He's going to be behind 3, picks up the extra kill. And now this is just annoying time. Asim might get dealt with, but he should hand deliver the kills to the rest of his teammates. He does. This hill has been locked down by London. And now you got Paul X potentially out and about. Seattle, this is a lot of problems to solve. The first of which is Paul, and the second of which is going to be the fact that they no longer have the lead.
Problem number 1 dealt with. Problem number 2, we'll deal with that in a moment. Right, keeping the guns going. Lovely work. Holding the Ravens at bay. Far right-hand side of the map, that's where you want to trap them. Think of it as control, friends. The Ravens are going to keep spawning there until something happens. And let's face it, in this game, something seems to happen all the time. But for now, Pred keeping them pinned. Time's going to go the way. Ravens over 200 points now, but Seattle, here comes problem number 2. Take the lead back.
I'll see what they can do. Again, the call and response in the last go around. Seattle absolutely locked this hill down. And for the moment, nice and secure. But Paul X, one gunfight to win. You take down Mack, you can make something happen. But unfortunately, he loses it. So Seattle still stable around the point. And honestly, just looking at the feed, they have just been dominant on the left side. Maybe an opportunity for Scrapz to flank and make the play. But Seattle, for the moment, they've got all the reads.
Seattle had 99 problems. The lead ain't won. Still ticking, still going. Pred's looking for streaks as well. Ravens now on the approach. That's 2 clean kills. We'll stay on board with Pred. See if he can get this last kill. See if he can get the cruise. He does. Can he get the second? He does. Pred keeping the hard point safe. Oh, Paul's there though. Little bit of time. Can he read Mack? He does. Big wins. Ravens back in it for 10. P1's up next.
Dude, and again, Seattle, they read the spawns, but one player from London spawns out over towards New while the other guys are in the old pond. So Seattle are so on point with the reads, but again, that does not mean it is easy. And London had picked up every kill on the feed as they're moving over towards New. Simp can't get the second, and London will be the first in the new time.
Sorry, P5, it's the last one, and it's the Blacksmith. Accuracy up top, guns are sweet. Ravens have got all the corners, though, so if anyone from Seattle dives in, they're in a bit of trouble. Trade battle continues. Scrapz finds it. Oh, no! Onto the point, and that's a big win. Seattle now looking to finally maybe win the game, but I don't know. It's non-stop. It's back and forth. An open hard point. In Seattle go. 25 for the win.
And they're just trying to collect this time, man. You're on the horse. You are in a godlike position, but Pred is also in a pinch, and he does get taken down. Nastie there for the delivery, but Sib's got the cross covered, and Seattle still soaking up this time. And talk about a moment where every single second is going to be such a big difference maker. And Mack's looking to get it all as London. 2-front war, man. They want to get him off the time, but you also got to rotate towards New, and you got to start winning gunfights, but they are getting cut down by Sib, who on the roto killed everyone but Paul, and Pred's there to deliver. Seattle should be the stamp on the game.
That should be game. Final 5. It's going to be a 3-1. Nades, everything. Throw them. Go. Ravens fly. Time is done. Seattle close it out. There in map number 4. 3-1 the final score, and for the Ravens, it was so close and a very hard fought battle. Not only to win the control, but to push it there on Fortress as well. The only thing you could have hoped for there was a better look in the search and destroy, and maybe on that first hard point. But the Ravens, they will fall 3-1. Seattle soar onwards. GG's.
And that is going to be a very painful one for London to go over the tape and try to break down what exactly went wrong, because that was a hard-fought game through and through. I mean, Nastie was just the super soaker in the hill, had over 2 minutes collected, and basically everybody provided in the kills column. They might have been outslayed by an extra few, but I don't think that was the difference maker. I think it was just a couple hills that Seattle were able to get that extra edge, and even just a big moment towards the end where Sib, the main slayer on his team, at least in half the circumstances where him and Pred had that battle, picked up a big 3 or 4 kills in those final moments. So Surge lethal on this map. Not afraid to see aBeZy for a map 4 after dropping the Fortress control and take care of business.
Yeah, not at all. Wow, there's still 3-1. Exciting turn there in this series, but that is it. It is complete, ladies and gents. The first of the day, and Seattle come out on top, and a dominant showing in that HyDra and that aBeZy as well. Fortress, though, definitely needs a little bit of work, a little bit more love if we're going to see them find a lot more success at Major 3 next week. Hope to see a lot of you there. But for now, let's go to the desk. How are we doing, guys?
We are doing excellent. Thank you, Miles and Chance. And let's reflect a little bit about this Surge win, because for a moment there, Ali, I thought we were going to a game 5. It was 2-18 in that game 4. Then London just kind of fell apart.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not that surprised that it was a 3-1 win. I mean, London Ravens, again, they've been looking a lot better in this Major 3 qualifier split with the role change and the way the Nastie and Scrapz have been looking. But the Seattle Surge are always going to be a strong respawn team. They have been throughout the beginning of this season, but their search and destroy has been seriously struggling. And well, they come out in this aBeZy and they 6-1 the London Royal Ravens. The London Royal Ravens, I'm already surprised that they let aBeZy in this series, because they're pretty bad at that map and mode. So the fact that was game number 2 kind of just set them up for failure.
Nameless, how I was looking at this was Seattle Surge are number 8 overall in the league, right? They're at 90 points coming into this match. Ravens at the very bottom, 12 seed, only had 40 points. They needed this win to close that gap down to 40.
Yeah, they absolutely needed this win. And Chris, I mean, they really did have some opportunity to push to a game 5. It came down to this map here. Like, first 2 maps, they got smoked. They battled back. They had a fantastic control performance. And honestly, what has been their worst game mode. I'm surprised they came out so hot in that Fortress, going going up against Seattle Surge. And then on this one as well, they get another fortress, so the momentum's there. And it just came down to a couple holds, man. I really like what we saw from London in that first P3, the break, and then the hold. Second time around wasn't the best, and they just find themselves in the blender spawn. It's going to happen sometimes, even though there was a valiant effort towards the end. Just not enough. The slaying power in Seattle, too much.
And I do want to talk about actually that first map in the series, the HyDra. For the likes of Seattle Surge, this is a good look for them, not only in Search and Destroy, but to play that HyDra that's usually their auto veto. We don't really see that in series, to go up against the London Royal Ravens as a 3-1 record on that map and mode and win by almost an 100-point deficit is huge by Seattle Surge, expanding their map pool heading into the major.
We got to take a look at one of the highlights here for a disappointing loss from the London Royal Ravens. You won one map, which is going to keep Seattle in third place right behind Atlanta on our leaderboard right now going into major number 3. But walk me through the final moments of this one, Nameless, because this was a clutch on offense.
Yeah, it was a clutch up on offense here, and you could see like there's not that many. Well, first they had a fantastic start off to this. They get out and they get B right away. And then they're in the blender for quite some time. They get through maps and through gate, and it's a couple of huge gunfights. Nastie wins a couple on the point. Scrapz had a big one by horse. They just took their time. The communication was there, and the fight very much, they were still in this series, man. And you got to think, like, winning offense is not hard to do on Fortress. You have to be on point. So I just like that London's still going on.
London falls 3-1 to the Seattle Surge, and here's a look at our leaderboard afterwards. Surge climbing up. Actually, Scuff play of the game coming up first, and I like this one. Let's take a look at Mack after a brutal game 1. The young man bounced back in this Search and Destroy alley on the SMG.
He absolutely did. And I mean, I feel like the whole team bounces back in S&D. I mean, again, the fact that this was a 6-1 victory, I mean, noted, I did say at London Royal Ravens, this is one of their worst S&D maps, but Seattle Surge has been struggling. And even in that round number 1, I remember talking about, you know, they don't do well in those 3v4 situations. Well, guess what? They were put into a 3v4 situation right off the bat, but they get the bomb down, and they're able to play that clock and win in an easy fashion.
Surge planting and scoring big. That is your Scuff play of the game. Here are your standings. Surge, we talked about it. They came in 4th place. Now they jump over the breach with their 3-1 record. Meanwhile, the Ravens, currently in 9th, have one more chance to try and break into our top 8 before Texas. Right now, though, we got to talk to a man everyone is going to be seeing play live in Texas. That is, of course, Accuracy, captain of this squad. And Accuracy, it is awesome to see you frying today. Your stats, they went up a little bit. What was it like playing against the Ravens?
You know, the Ravens are a good team, but they've been playing very well this stage, and we just came in. This was a series that we looked at. We just needed to come in, take care of business, and do what we do. We knew we played our game. The series would go that way.
Can we talk a little bit about your Search and Destroy in particular? You dropped a 4.0, the 8-2, and it could have been a 9th kill, but you refused to give up the 1v4 to Asim. Can you talk me through that final round? How do you decide to just hide for 25 seconds?
I just knew we were up 5-2, and you know we haven't been winning our S&Ds, and I was like, yo, I'm guaranteeing this. I'm not losing no matter what. I don't care. So I was like, we're closing this out right here, you know? So I just went and played it the way I should have.
And to be honest, there's a lot of people that are on your side of that spectrum that think maybe you should have chatted, maybe you shouldn't. I'm one of the people that thinks that was a perfect play out of you personally. And, you know, to that point, you played really well in this series individually. And I know recently with Seattle Surge's struggles, a lot of the flack has been pointed at you and, you know, calling for Lamar and seeing, like, what you were adding to the team. I want to know what your response is to that, and what do you think personally that you add to this team that kind of makes you stand out from the rest of the ARs in the league?
For me personally, I don't really have a response to all that because I don't really care what everyone else is thinking. I only care about what my team thinks of me.
Damn right.
What we think of each other inside the camp. So to me, that's the most important thing. And, you know, our faith is unwavering right now. So we're working hard and we're trying to get that chip.
Awesome.
Lamar, congratulations on the win, especially that Search and Destroy. I cannot believe you sat back in that moment. Hell of a risk, and it paid off. I wanted to ask you about that search because, you know, when you look at stats, London is allowing plants 70% of the time. Is that something you guys look at? Do you guys review stats like that and then base your game plan sometimes on a series like this after VOD sessions? Because it looked like you guys were insta-flanking, pushing through mid, making plays with the SMGs based on what they were doing.
We didn't look at that stat, but we just went into it knowing we're going to play our game. We've been working super, super hard on S&D after that terrible run that we went on. So we just went in, did our thing. We didn't focus too much on the VOD. We just wanted to do what we wanted to do on the map.
I wanted to ask one follow-up to that. So without giving too much away, what has been the biggest difference in preparation for Search and Destroy? Because this stage, you guys have looked way different.
Just putting in extra hours, like we've been putting an insane amount of hours in S&D and hyper focusing it because we know like if we win at S&D sometimes, the way our respawn is, we can be a contending team consistently. So that's been our goal, and that's been #1 on the agenda, is just hyper focus S&D.
Nice. Final question for you guys as you're walking away from this match with a 3-1 record. Who has the best vibes on the team?
The best vibes on the team, I'd probably give it to Mack. You know, he's like the nicest, calmest one. Us three, you know, we're kind of wild a little bit. So he comes in, vibes us out, and you know, keeps it calm.
You need a positive Patty on the squad always.
Yeah.
Shout out to Mack, keeping the vibes up. Shout out to Accuracy on another win. Thanks for joining the show.
Thank you.
That is Lamar aBeZy, one of the oldest standing players here in the league, and the man still getting the job done, especially in Search and Destroy. We've got another old man playing. When we come back, he goes by the name of Clayster, and he's trying to pull off another upset. Can Vegas lock in their spot in the top 8, or is it a resurging Røkkr? We find out after this.